on the unfairness of Newton's second law of physics. We all felt sorry for the two marbles haplessly spinning on after the third wobbled off centrifugally. You could almost hear their plea for obedience to Newton's law of objects in motion, the unfairness of usurped liberty offending their model compliance. It would have taken Isaac himself in his patent-buckled shoes to convince us that the same law did apply to them all equally. It was only that the errant sphere had seized on a minor irregularity that sent it wayward, free.
Helicopters. The ducks don't seem to be going anywhere, though. They fly around and around in circles rather than in a V formation. They spend about an hour circling, with smaller groups breaking off and changing ways, crossing over, sometimes looking like they're going to land, but swooping up at the last second. Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, online forum. Helicopters. Who won the war for paying the best attention? Who wanted an award for the best mentions on Twitter? We took the wrong day off. The eclipse, we missed it. Watched the sky all Sunday long, waiting for something to happen. Our phones at home to make the moment more a moment. The lid never closed over. We fought well into the night. Slept late the next day, though I swear my dreams were different. For a couple of minutes, I heard it was beautiful, but no one can really tell me the thing about the ducks, the air a-churn with wings. Her mother said on Meta they were in some kind of swarm. Are they still calling it a war?
Salvation might be just a hole in the sky. Gently curved glass, wick turned down into an empty reservoir. Web constructor busy, unaware of the day when that reliable winter fuel will arrive and flame returns. Difficult weaving work will disappear in iridescent flashes. Worker too, if she doesn't find the opening above her.
We are gentler now to one another than when we were meeting in that dirty old building. It isn't there now. This fall, I bought a few records from their picked-through collection for $1 a piece. Most of them skip. I looked for your name. We exchanged wounds on the couch. It is brand new, or new to you. The dog is about us, will not take no for an answer. We compare alcohol stories. We talk about how some bodies can withstand near constant abuse and never break down, but others require a softer touch, regular prodding, checkups. Your hair is thinner. Mine is gone. Our bodies are bigger, our persons drawn. Your home is open whenever I need it, and often I do. I think we are leaving maps to treasure for whoever kills us first. And I didn't know that my bones were so narrow. I didn't think then that you'd be the first father. But I'm glad that it's you who will know the sound of your child's name off of your tongue. That you will be the first to know peace for your small patch of earth. Your clothes, my clothes, that campfire smoke smell. No, we don't smoke anymore. Sometimes crows call just to call. Sometimes crows call just to call. Sometimes crows call just to call. Sometimes crows call just to call.
Chasing the sun. His voice remained outside this void, her eyes fixed on one object as a distant plea with bound wrists and bruises. I wrote each bad memory on paper, tucked in long forgotten crevices, offerings to Apep to cease disorder, to reduce the qualms. Only recalled when these human teeth contract and expand, summoning. Here is the gridded onslaught of would have been, scribbling mad libs, shrieking the wrong lyrics, laughs and not laughing, driving through spaces that once held murmurations of shadflies. Now, disappearing through warmer skies and before us green mother, sprouts shooting from nail beds, bearing only future frames of silence.
The near-death experience of a birch. A breeze troubles the clouds. Air turns metallic, sounding mycorrhizal alarms as the mood drops. I wake in my roots, crowns drifting farther away as if I'm no longer one of them. And I wonder, where's the fear? I'm surprised I'm unafraid. Thunder mumbles under her breath, yet I'm poised. No, I'm floating. My roots vapor. My arbor-born worries for mortal splintering, severed trunks and limbs evaporate. I melt with the howling and all I am, amazed. I'm unafraid to shift into squall, to become the mounting clamor of elements, long, strong, long-sung enzymes' primordial chant, signature track for the last universal common ancestor. We're astonished and unafraid to be the puddle cradling sun, stored in one red heart of loss, our own. We join the concert of unknowing, a cloud that the light triggers.
swarming. The dream unravels, mist burned under red morning skies. When a fleeing queen abandons her beehive, in sudden freedom, her workers fill the air with the drone of their buzz and a wrath that will sear.
Concocting from a book I last read, and here I found. Page 5. All you heard was the low moaning. I am becoming more still with each new evening, though by morning I am cocooned for a while, less still for a while, as I wonder when new panic will constrict my lungs. This is what it means to be alive for a while. Page 78. We fit back then, in our odd way. You are older now. I think I'm not any older now, any older then. These are the sneakers you wore in photographs. This is my hand on your leg, my untucked shirt, my thin belly, my swollen stomach now. Is that all it is? Page 51. Something below us is writing this script. When compiling the words for your funeral, I began, stopped, found my footing, and then could not make the words come. Every day my voice is a beacon, and when I need it, it is useless. Page 51. The bright, wet slickness of the new. Someone new owns the room of my virginity, of my fingers, of your mouth. They have trimmed back the trees from our well. They have mangled our grass. They have dug up the thin bones we left there. They have begun a life I would rather not see. Page 155. The constant light obscuring the stars, the omnipresent gasoline fumes. There are moving figures in the night sky, and I do not join my friends. You tell me there is nothing above, and that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I do not run in the fields behind our house. That is why I prefer backlit glow. Page 188. Ghost Bird, where would you be if we weren't together? Do you remember what you called me? I don't. I confess, not to a sliding door, but to myself, to a stranger, to a friend at the bar, that I have no memory, that I remember nothing, that I will not allow enough silence so that I can create a pattern, concoct a living memory. Page 1. A derelict lighthouse. This speaks for itself. What other nuance might I provide? Page 28. Wiping the cobwebs from her clothing. I don't know where any of these things have come from. They've been collected scattershot. I do not think I've ever bought them or I was given them, and when I am gone it won't matter if they were given or bought because someone will throw them away. Page 68. You saw the footprints, you saw the body. Music used to be here, in the park and in the building off the park. I would settle my car into the lot off the post office and haul my wares up the stone and onto linoleum. Our spray paint is there. Our burst knuckles are there. Page 69. I give up. I give up. Page 136. I've had a kind of dream for a while now. There's a dream where my stomach is beneath me and I am floating above the auditorium. I know that I am dreaming, but that does not make it any less real. If I wake, I am floating. If I dream, I'm afraid of not floating. And if I let go, I am less a crow than a glimmer attracting crows. Page 172. I descend into the light. My friend, days before he is sick himself, tells me that it was a burden you carried to die before me, that I gave the gift of living to you so that you did not have to suffer again the loss of a small coffin. In turn, I carry the burden for not leaving you to suffer my loss. It is a gift to go on. It is a gift to die before. It is not the first hand which creates the wound, but the second which reaches its peak and sutures a festering wound, which shall reopen, which shall reopen, which shall reopen as the hand nears the bottom of the hour. It is the sigh of whatever lurks behind snowbanks. Last page. I am not returning home. I am not returning home.
Benevolent Ghost Sutra. May we tend to the benevolent ghost who makes a home in us. May we be free of our guarded gaze. Don't we all worry the stone of our trust? All creatures pray. Wonder takes its gentle time, no rush. May the voice of the benevolent ghost startle us from our perch. May loneliness soften our grip. Don't we all share an edge? None of us prays alone. There's always space for one more. May we dive into the benevolent ghost in whose current we fly. May we brave the flow like a dance. Don't we scan the sky for answers? Shared longing forms a prayer. Come, join the question.
Concerto for a River Town. Overture. On my back, tongue out, snow moving from light to heavy, wet, delicious. Park bench is my platform, wrapped in 2 thick wool army blankets and a perfectly folded poly tarp. In the morning, soup will be served up at Emma's house. I'll be there, 2 inches on that iron rail now. I'll be okay. Just need to close my eyes. Can't see much anyway. First movement. Careful narrator would point out the light and reflections, movement or stillness, but I'm not careful. I'm inside the empty store, the one halfway up the block, thinking about buying it, making a bookstore and coffee shop combo. All this being planned, though I have noticed the sloppy work of the sidewalk plow, unlit shops, disinterested walkers, hopeless stares of a few wandering strangers. I lock up and leave, follow the narrow sidewalk path east, cross over Catherine Street, remembering those better days of purpose and prosperity. Now a right onto Pearl, a few spots of light. The thrift shop closed, mannequins in lingerie waiting for warmer donations. More empty places and empty lots where good and bad things happen. A fair-skinned young man slips into a doorway, turns his back. On the right, a dumpster at the edge of a sharp drop. Charred foundation beams await excavation. Perhaps the remains of Mr. LaBeouf's shoe repair shop. An interlude. Another husk of a building, bricks clinging one to another. It welcomes a fresh coat of icy whiteness, inside and out. Second movement. No sign of temporary camping spots as we descend the poorly maintained Riverwalk path. I reach up a steadying hand, guide her around a pile of scat, lead the way down to the sheer drop just above the river. We quickly walk north from there, stop to look up at the bottom of the bridge. Below that, an immense pipe carries sewage above the river, and we remark yet again on the odds of disaster and the poor planning of long-gone town officials. Graffiti adorns the pipe and bridge and basement walls, buildings edging towards collapse. A cartoon octopus, lips that appear to be collagen-filled, tall, lowercase love, multicolored art. We find the little opening in the wall at the back of the building, spread our blanket, check for spies or bystanders, do what we came to do. Our return walk is slow, deliberate. Third movement. Storm warning. Lock up, into the car. Work my way through the streets to Stewart's Coffee. Back in the car. South on 30. Fields and fences slip by. Crows race me. Give up the challenge. Disappear. Heavier snow now. Ease through the turnoff. Back road. Don't plow yet. Dirt road next, ruts filled with wet whiteness, ascending, always ascending, wipers on, ice, 4 more turns, smoke's coming from the chimney, storm warning. Coda. We live with green lights and red, long neglected, hollow places, once elegant. An alley with a caution warning shows us a way to escape if we wish to reach up for it. But we stay, feeling the permanence of place. Its hold not rooted in old memories, but a kinship with the ghosts of those who came with hope and stayed. Finale. He was just lying there, peaceful like, but blue, when we brushed away the snow, and rigid, as if he had become part of the bench, an ice sculpture, wrapped in an army blanket, staring at the birds.
Bouquet. We elected not to be festive. We stayed in the basement, while the fireworks cast shadows against the side of the vacation rental, a landlord's house. Since we were children, a sales pitch eternal, bombs can be beautiful, but you see one go off, you've witnessed enough. Of course I mean too much. Anything that sours, dogs and children, turns wonder into urgent worry, you can keep it. This is the weekend I worked my life for. When the good men watch, the white smoke redden, it's the only quiet moment, hiding inside the blockbuster, otherwise monster-ridden. Next day we went to the water, the dogs fought the waves, gnashed it where they lapped against the rocks, nothing had changed. The dogs gnawed on rubber stoppers that littered the beach, still smelling of sulfur. My daughter thought she saw a flower, but it was only a little puff of some undissolved smoke, the stickiness of tradition, blurry at this early hour.
Night walk. I grew up thinking more women were tied to railroad tracks. Unsafely, I hike. If he were an autumn vegetable, he would be a Brussels sprout, but he wrinkles his nose up at the sight of them. There is a collection of blood, each drop cupped in my hands, cherished. I am not willing to stain the earth here. Tracing the weight in pictures, games played upon the bare backs, to guess the message of fears children should not know. The boots worn are soulless. For a journey that is not mine, turn sideways before going forward. Crash feet into flowing water. Always choose water. Be someone's horizon. Even when the sky has fallen, don't let someone else be the moon. There is only one door left to be open. I will not choose which.